The QAnon Shaman, of course, his real name, Jacob Chansley, who pleaded guilty to storming the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, has been released from prison to a halfway house 14 months early. Now, here is, of course, the video that surfaced just recently that showed Jacob being just kind of walked through the Capitol by officers who, this all seems very peaceful and very much approved by the officers who are walking with him. And so this video had just recently surfaced, and everyone said, well, why is he still in prison? He needs to be released. This is horrible. How come this didn't come up in the trial? This should have been evidence. This should give grounds for his whole trial to be upended, and the verdict to be upended. Well, there's been some reporting that has indicated that these videos played a part in his release. However, the attorney who has been working with him now has actually come out and said, our producer talked to him on the phone today, and unfortunately he couldn't join us today. He had a previously scheduled court hearing, but he did tweet out, "Let me make something clear. The videos released and played on Fox News did not play a role in any early release for Jake Chansley. Al Watkins claiming that to be the case is false, and is Watkins continuing to deflect blame away from himself for his horrible work." Jake's sentence was 42 months. The final 6 months are always in a halfway house by police, so total custodial time was going to be 36 months. But there are programs that allow a prisoner to earn credit on his sentence beyond good time credit. Jake took advantage of those opportunities. He was arrested in January 2021 and was detained the entire time. He served 26 plus months in custody. When I first spoke with him in November 2021, I told him his release date was likely February 2023. He thought that it would be early 2024, and it ended up being pretty close. He was not far off from that February projection date, almost April of 2023. And so this is apparently a case where a lawyer swooped in to pretend like he was going to save the day. Al Watkins swooped in, pretended to save the day, and actually got him to plea to made a deal. He went to prison, never talked to the guy again, allegedly, and this new lawyer came in to help him. But this was not any sort of victory from these videos exonerating him. And, I'm glad that he's out of prison. I want to make that clear. He should have never been in prison. But to me, it angers me because I want accountability from the government who could have given this evidence, that should have been played at his trial. So now we're going to try to get his new attorney on the program. But because what I want to know is, can he sue? Because that's what I would be doing, is I would want to sue the pants off of whatever prosecutorial agency withheld evidence that could have exonerated me. And I spent 26 plus months in custody. I'm suing the pants off of anyone I can.
I mean, when you see the videos, it's hard to imagine what he went to prison for. It's impossible to imagine. For over 2 years, the guy was in prison for walking around the Capitol building peacefully, escorted by cops. Did he kill one of them when he was off camera?
Well, he was carrying a large spear, Pat.
He was, and he wore horns. Apparently, that's why he went to prison for 26 months. He had horns
and the spear,
on his hat.
The spear, of course, was just the American flag.
Look at that.
It's a very scary spear with an American flag on top of it.
These people are being charged with parading, milling, and that's clearly about what he did.
Yeah.
It's unconscionable what happened to these Americans. It's just not America anymore. Yeah. It's just not.
I totally agree.
I hope he does sue him. And I hope that we get out of this cycle of seeing a headline that implies a victory and getting all excited and forgetting about it. We tend to have the attention span of guppies too often.
Guppies?
Isn't that a saying? That's a saying.
I mean, okay, but how do I feel like it's just going to get worse. The attention span. No, the attention span. I'm serious, because you do bring up a good point. We so often forget all of, what happened a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago. The American public has forgotten. I honestly think if we had the midterms sooner and people still felt the pain of all the draconian COVID mandates, all of that, it would have been a little bit different. But we didn't because they forgot. And I feel like with social media, it's just going to get worse because we've got Instagram Reels and we've got TikTok, and people pay attention for 30 to 60 seconds, and then they're just kind of done.
Yeah, I wish you weren't right, but you are. I mean, and that's why so many of the historical parallels don't work, because even in the last 15 years, our attention span, and I think it's biologically referred to as like a time preference, our ability to like delay gratification and pursue long-term goals has eroded completely. And so even if, the revolutionary generation, which would be young people, even ignoring that they're all like leftists and have no loyalty or allegiance to this country, even if they had that, their ability to like focus on something would be, and now that there's an Adderall shortage too, like they would not be able to do that.
Pat, last word on this topic.
It would have been a better story if he had been released because of the videos.
That's why I'm like,
it would have been great.
Yeah, I'm like, this just makes me more mad.
I'm really pissed that it's not the video that got him released, because it should have been.
I know.
It really should have been. And I mean, nothing's going to come of the videos that Carlson showed, even though a lot should come of it. People should be released from jail. The people should be apologizing. Prosecutors should be ashamed of themselves. None of that's going to happen, though.
Yeah.
There'll be no accountability.
Yeah, it is very frustrating to watch. I want to shift over here to the confrontation that happened over in D.C. when Thomas Massie started responding to yelling, temper tantrum. I mean, I don't even know what you want to call I think he's an honorary member of the squad, Democrat New York Representative Jamal Bowman. He was just like, when is enough going to be enough? We need gun control. We want to take away your Second Amendment rights. We want to disarm everybody while we release violent criminals into the streets and weaponize the federal government against you. We also want to take your guns. It got very heated. Watch.
Talking about gun violence.
In a school that allows teachers to carry.
Carry guns? You think more guns lead to more death?
Would you co-sponsor?
More guns lead to more death.
Would you co-sponsor?
Look at the data. You're not looking at any data. You're carrying the water for the gun lobby.
No.
Look at the data. More guns lead to more deaths.
For the kids.
States that have open carry laws have more deaths.
In every school that allows
States that
carry,
have open
there's
carry
never been a
laws
shooting.
have more deaths.
There's never been a shooting.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Yeah, calm down.
Calm down. Children are dying.
I know. I've got
9-year-old children.
I've
The solution is not arming teachers. Have you ever worked in a school? 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 It's a yes or no question. Have you ever worked in a school? You will not answer my question. Don't stop and talk to me. Okay, I'll bring it down a notch. Have you ever worked in a school?
I've got a bill.
I worked in the school for 20 years. I was a teacher. I was screaming before you came and interrupted me.
This is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. Someone who has been elected to represent us, the people, right? Not me, and I'm not in New York. I don't claim him, but he's supposed to be an actual adult. He's supposed to be this esteemed, individual who goes there and follows some sort of decorum. And he's just whining and bitching about the Second Amendment and but have you ever worked at a school? As if you need to work at a school to understand actual facts. It's so embarrassing. And he keeps asking Thomas Massie, have you even looked at the data? Well, I don't think Jamal Bowman has looked at the data, because there is data that shows that there has never been a school shooting in all of these schools that allow staff to carry. No school shootings during school hours. Those are the stats. That is the data, Jamal. There haven't been. Okay? Glad we could clear that up for you.
I love that these lefties pick up on these little catchphrases like more guns lead to more death.
Yeah.
What? Show me the data on that.
Right.
I'd love to see that data, because it's a flat out lie.
It seems to me, Pat, that these keep happening in gun-free zones.
Yeah, every single time. And even in this one, she was going to go to another school and shoot that school up, and it was too heavily armed. Mm-hmm. There was too much security, so she chose the other school.
Right.
That happens every single time. I mean, they go to the soft targets, and the soft targets are the gun-free zones where nobody has a gun. More guns lead to more crime. That's such garbage. There's more guns now in America than there's ever been, and crime is actually down. Fact is, murders are down. In some cities they've gone up, but overall, gun crime is down from where it used to be. In the 90s, in the 80s, it was much higher than it is now.
Yeah.
I know I brought this up before on the show. I think it's a great example of like American excellence, though. When Aaron Burr retired from the Senate, he gave extemporaneously a 3-hour speech about the importance of the Congress and its obligation to represent the people and do so with dignity and respect. And it was so good that even his I guess you'd say not dissidents, but his opponents in Congress stood up and gave him a standing ovation. The more critical newspapers even wrote about it favorably. And it was like this great moment. And you compare that class of statesmen to what we have now, and it just shows like the way that we've devolved as a country. I mean, that
Of course,
guy's
he
such
did
a
go on to
buffoon.
kill Alexander Hamilton. So
true. You know, you can't win them
there was
all.
that.
You can't win them all.
Not exactly great decorum there, but
No, but we all have our moments.
yeah,
Pat.
yeah, we did.
Who doesn't from time to time
Snap.
kill a father?
No, but you're right. It's just like, I don't know what's more embarrassing. I know we got to go here in a second. I don't know what's more embarrassing. The fact that he did that he behaves that way, or the fact that there are actual Americans who elected him to go behave that way.
That's why I think it was Joseph de Maistre said that every country has the government it deserves. And when you look at like the type of people we used to have versus now, it kind of makes sense in a way.
That's depressing, but
It is
But true.
depressing.
Yeah.
But
Like
true.
you mentioned, I can't believe that this guy is supposed to be sophisticated. Go to his district, talk about politics with those people. I bet it's pretty similar.
yeah.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.